Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So I've got some breaking news coming out here for you. We're going to be discussing US President Joe Biden here in this video, and also we're going to be talking about this upcoming invasion of Rafah, which is the southernmost city inside of the Gaza Strip, one of the last remaining cities that the Israeli Defense Forces have not moved into to engage Hamas and fully eradicate Hamas, which Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has come out many times and said that they are going to go into Rafah at some point, and they're deciding to go in on the beginning of Ramadan, which is a holy month in Israel, and I believe that begins on March 12th, which is just 2 days away. So as soon as like Tuesday or Wednesday, we could be seeing the Israeli Defense Forces pushing into Rafah, and many countries around the world are warning that if Israel pushes into Rafah, that we're going to have a major catastrophe on our hands here, because we already have more than 30,000 Palestinians that have been killed in the Gaza Strip, and we've got projected numbers upwards of 1 million or more Palestinians that are inside of Rafah right now, because it's one of the last remaining cities that have not been engaged by the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. And if they push in here, we're going to have a lot of Palestinians that are going to be killed because they're going to be right in the middle of a war zone. And that's majority of the Gaza Strip population that's been pushed into one city. And Hamas also uses the Palestinians as shields, from what we know. So this is not going to be good if they move in. And we had U.S. President Joe Biden here on an MSNBC interview, and the interview asked him if Benjamin Netanyahu sends the IDF into Rafah, will this be a red line? And he did reply, yes, this is a red line. Okay, so I've got a article up here on the screen here for you. This is from Politico, and it says here, Biden warns of red line for Israel over Rafah. It says U.S. President Joe Biden warned the Israeli government against a further intensification of bloodshed in the Gaza Strip as worries grow over the humanitarian disaster in the enclave. We cannot have another 30,000 more Palestinians dead, Biden said in an interview with MSNBC on Saturday. So this took place just yesterday. Asked whether an invasion of Rafah in the south of Gaza on the border with Egypt was a red line, Biden replied in the affirmative, it is a red line. So he said 100%, this is a red line for the U.S. What will that red line indicate? We have no idea what that will be, but we'll be finding out here in the next couple days if Israel decides to move into Rafah here. So it says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is hurting Israel more than helping Israel in his approach to the war against Hamas in Gaza. Biden said Netanyahu that he must pay more attention to the innocent lives being lost as a consequence of the actions taken. So Biden saying here that he needs to pay attention to the amount of innocent people that are being killed, because we've already had 30,000 people that have been killed during this war, which is a large number. And there also is an international court case, basically, that's being pushed against Israel, that was initiated by South Africa, I believe, and they're accusing Israel of committing acts of genocide inside of the Gaza Strip. Okay, because obviously we've got more than 30,000 Palestinians that have died here. So obviously, there's a lot of pressure on Israel regarding this because so many Palestinians are being killed, and Biden's saying he's warning that Benjamin Netanyahu needs to pay attention to the innocent lives that are being taken here. Okay, so the death toll in Gaza is contrary to what Israel stands for, and I think it's a big mistake, the American president said. He said it's a big mistake. The remarks come as a ship loaded with supplies prepares to leave Cyprus on Sunday to provide aid to Palestinians in Gaza. It would be the first vessel in what European Union has indicated would be a humanitarian sea corridor. So we do know as well that the U.S. is working on a boat dock, that they're building a port, like a temporary port, just off the coast of the Gaza Strip, where they can use it to bring ships in and bring supplies to the Palestinians there, because many of them as well are dying of starvation and dehydration. There's an obvious, like, very close to a famine, like it mentions here, imminent famine, inside of the Gaza Strip. So they obviously need supplies. So we're going to be talking about that here. So the number of Palestinians who have been killed in the Israeli invasion of Gaza in response to the October 7th attack by Hamas is disputed, but reports from on the ground show that in addition to the civilians killed by the bombings and the ground assault, there are growing numbers of people dying of starvation. On Wednesday, the United Nations warned of an imminent famine in the region, which is inhabited by 2.3 million people. So obviously, many of them are starting to die now of starvation and dehydration as well. The aid ship belongs to the Spanish charity Open Arms, which will bring food supplies in cooperation with EU authorities. It is leaving from the Cypriot port of Larnaca. The U.S. has previously airdropped supplies into the besieged territory. The Biden administration said that it now wants to build a floating pier to help deliver large amounts of aid into Gaza. The Pentagon indicated that this could take up to 60 days. So 60 days just to get this port built, and then to start bringing in ships to bring in supplies. It's going to take time for all of this to happen. So this is obviously a big deal down here. We've got two major problems. We've got the Palestinians suffering from malnutrition and dehydration, lack of water. And then we've got these potential over 1 million Palestinians that are inside of Rafah right now. And if the IDF goes in to engage Hamas, there's going to be a lot of innocent civilians that are killed in this attack. Okay? So even as Biden warned Israel's government against further targeting of the civilian population in Gaza, he reiterated his general support. "I'm never going to leave Israel," said the U.S. president. "The defense of Israel is still critical." So although he's warning Benjamin Netanyahu, hey, you need to pay attention to the amount of people that are being killed here, the innocent civilians that don't deserve to die here, the defense of Israel is obviously still important to the United States, and which, obviously Israel is very, they're a loyal ally to the United States as well, and very important to the Middle East. They're a key country to the Middle East. So obviously a big deal what's going on here, and we'll have to see what this whole red line is that President Joe Biden is talking about. What will this red line be? Comment down below and let me know what you think. But just over in the next couple days here, we're going to be having a lot of information coming out from the Gaza Strip, and I'm going to be covering as much of it as I possibly can. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you can get all my updates when they come out. And if you enjoyed this video, please as well smash the like button. And if any of the other information comes out, I will definitely update you guys and let you know what's going on with the situation. But that's the latest here on this potential upcoming Rafah invasion by the IDF. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.